Welcome to Eerie Bites of History, your daily serving of strange bites of the past. Today, we have a deadly prison riot, world bracing for the digital chaos, and the birth of a nation under a new name, all of which happened on September 9th. Let's begin. On September 9th, 1971, one of the most infamous uprisings in American prison history erupted inside the walls of the Attica Correctional Facility in New York. More than 1,000 inmates, fed up with overcrowding, racial injustice, and inhumane living conditions, rose in defiance. They overwhelmed the guards and seized control of much of the prison, taking 42 staff members hostage in a desperate bid to force the government to hear their demands. The prisoners drafted a list of reforms calling not only for better food and medical treatment, but also for political rights, such as religious freedom, fair visitation, and the right to unionize. For 4 tense days, negotiations dragged on, with both inmates and hostages trapped inside a pressure cooker of fear and uncertainty. On September 13th, New York State troopers stormed the prison in a hail of tear gas and bullets. The assault left 43 people dead, 29 inmates, and 10 hostages among them. The shocking images and testimonials that followed drew national outrage, exposing the brutal conditions of the American prison system to the world. The uprising was more than a riot, it was a violent flashpoint in the ongoing struggle of civil rights behind bars, a reminder that a fight for dignity and justice does not end at the prison gates. On September 9, 1999, a strange wave of computer panic swept across the world. Long before the famous Y2K scare, programmers and businesses braced for what they called the 9999 problem. Many computer systems used 9999 as a command code, signaling the end of a program marking data for deletion. The fear was when the date rolled over to September 9th, 1990, machines would not interpret it as September 9th, but as the command to shut down, erase records, or trigger system crashes. From hospitals to airlines, banks to power companies, people worried about the vital services that could suddenly fail. Newspapers ran ominous headlines. Some IT workers were kept on standby all night, ready to scoop in if the digital world collapsed. For a brief moment, it seemed like a countdown to chaos had begun, and yet nothing happened. As the clocks kept ticking past midnight, the computer systems kept running, planes stayed in the sky, and life moved on if the threat had never existed. The dreaded end of the file bug turned out to be little more than a ghost code. The 9999 scare was a reminder of how easily fear gripped society in this digital age, and how sometimes history's biggest technological scares end not with disaster, but with a collective sigh of relief, and maybe even a chuckle. On September 9th, 1776, a subtle yet profound change took place in the halls of the Second Continental Congress. The delegates gathered in Philadelphia and voted officially to rename their cause from the United Colonies to the United States of America. It may seem like a simple adjustment of words, but in reality, it was a radical declaration of identity. The colonies were no longer loosely bound provinces rebelling against Britain. They proclaimed themselves a single, unified nation, tied together under a shared destiny. With one stroke of the quill, they transformed a patchwork of colonies into a collective people. This act was more than semantics. To the world, it was a clear signal. The fight was not about reforms and reconciliation, but about independence, sovereignty, and self-determination. To the colonies itself, it gave a name worth rallying behind, a phrase that would carry them through years of war and sacrifice. Like your history snack size? Drop us a comment with your favorite bite and subscribe. Join us daily for your eerie dose of the past.